Happy Monday. If this uploads on Monday, we'll see how productive I am after we record.
Yeah,
but welcome
please.
back to me, my mom, and my Padres. Yay. We're back.
Okay.
Been a busy couple of weeks. Shout out Spencer, shout out Josie. Happily married on their honeymoon. It's been a whirlwind for myself and our Padres. I mean, really.
For real. Yep.
But we're happy to be here. Got a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to keep it quick and clean as we usually do.
Do we?
We usually keep it quick, at least. But I mean, there's a lot of things to discuss, and I feel like, you know, the thing that we should talk about at the top is our record-breaking sale.
Yes, no kidding. So
Damn near $4 billion.
Can I sit back if you're gonna sit back like that? I look like I'm too dominant.
You're fine, Mom.
Yeah. We were expecting this news. We had no idea who it was going to be, to the point where I thought the guy that came in, you know, remember how there was like one more surprise it got name that had come forward as an interested buyer. I'm like, oh, that's going to be him, because that's always what it is. And it wasn't. It was one of the guys that was there from the start. His name's Jose Feliciano. Not that Jose Feliciano, but it gives Dad plenty of opportunity to protect, you know. You've seen Fargo, right? Mm-hmm. Remember the whole scene? Jose Feliciano can't complain. So now, you know, Dad's got to say can't complain every time I say his name. But anyway, and it's Jose E. Feliciano and his wife Kwanzaa Jones, and she's a very interesting person. Really, like if she is how she appears to be, if her social media, whatever persona is who she truly is, then she looks like a fascinating person and someone you're going to want to have on part of your team. She's they're both he made his money in private equity. She is a billionaire or millionaire in her own regard. Started her own, I think, nonprofits, and that's kind of where I could be wrong, nonprofit consulting kind of thing. But they met at Princeton. He also has his MBA from Stanford. I'm not sure about her. Sale isn't finalized, but from what everybody's saying, it will be. 22 of the 29 owners have to approve. There's expected to be no pushback. The owners we're selling for way over what we thought was going to be market value, 3.9 million. Billion, I'm sorry. They thought they were going to come in at 3.5, and that was even high. So they blew that out of the water. You know what, though? It's been really fun to read a lot of the business articles that are coming my way, you know, scrolling on whatever platform, Threads or Reddit or whatever, and there's like articles that are specifically financially business and financial related to baseball, and they talk about why the Padres were such a great investment, why they're a exciting thing to own, and they all give credit to Peter Seidler. Peter Seidler some people even said this was almost an experiment to see what if you take a small to medium market team and spend money like it's a big market team. What will happen? And you saw that their value went from in 15 years. It went from, I forgot what they bought it for initially, but it wasn't even $1 billion. And I think they said it's worth 25 times more than it was when the last time it was purchased in 2012. But even more interesting was like in the past year, or not even year, like the past year and a half, I think they said, since the beginning of last season, the Padres' worth has gone up like $1.5 billion, which makes us the 11th biggest what's the word I'm looking for? Most expensive. I don't want to say most expensive club. That doesn't make sense. But as far as, I guess, MLB market goes, not media market, but MLB.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The worth of the team.
There you go.
The worth of the team. We are now in the top. We went from 17 to 11 in like 2 years. Shout out to Papa Pete. So very exciting. We'll see what happens. We have to be very cautiously optimistic, I think. We're just hearing bits and pieces, and again, it's not finalized. You're going to have to wait a bit, because they've got to negotiate. They've got to get it approved with MLB, and then they've got to they've got to negotiate with the city too.
Yeah.
Because Padres own 30% of Petco Park.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to negotiate with the city, which shouldn't be a problem. Although the way that things are going in the city right now, who knows, right? So anyway, so we're gonna have to wait a while. But there are reports that they're taking all of their charitable work, bringing it to San Diego.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting, right? And her own. I was looking at some of the things that she's donated to in the past, and she's been pretty supportive of a lot of LGBT things, from what I can tell. I know she's a singer, and she played at LA Pride at least once. And I know they saw one of her bigger donations was to P-Flag, and supposedly there's reports that they're both Democrats and they're both support Democratic positions. I can't get any verification, but you can kind of see that they are very charitable people. Considering, last week the mayor announced that they're going to slash almost like 85% of arts and culture funding from the budget. It's like out of control. You got to believe that every single one of those civic events and whatever artists, whatever, going to line up. Well, give me money. That'll be interesting. Any thoughts that you have?
God, I don't really know much about anything about business sides of anything, really. I'm just, kind of basing my opinions off of the immediate reactions that I got from, like, my baseball media, i.e., like Frank Cohen, a bit of John Boyd, Hot Tub. They've spoken on it a bit, and it's, kind of what you were saying, like, being, like, having a positive, optimism about it. I think it's the Jose that also owns part of Chelsea.
Yeah.
And,
that's a conversation.
That's a conversation, but also it's like, I think there's some talk that, like, that Chelsea fans aren't too happy with the way that he's been running the organization.
Right.
But, well, it's a different league. It's a different ball game.
From what I've read about, that's a valid point to bring up. From what I've read, he owns half of it, or he's the primary owner with another guy, another investor. I forgot his name, but he owns part of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And so there's speculation that Feliciano might be getting out of Chelsea and selling his share. That's not confirmed or anything, but it would make sense because they're apparently butting heads over things. That's like current news.
Yeah.
He and the guy he owns it with are having issues. And most of the criticism, to be fair, the Chelsea fans are not happy with the current ownership because I guess they're not good. However, they are spending money. So their complaint is they're not spending it the right way. I would imagine a similar situation.
So it's more of a GM.
Or like the Mets.
It's
like
more of
the
a
Mets
GM
are going through.
than an ownership
They
issue.
spent all this money on a roster. Apparently, Mets have their own issues.
No one's talking shit to Cohen about what's happening with the Mets.
It's whatever their issues are. Transfer the clubhouse? I don't know. I mean, who knows? I don't know. It's something to do with their vibe over there is not working because they've lost, 11 in a row?
It's rough in those
Doesn't
streets.
even make sense. But anyway, so I think it's probably more like that. So that'll be interesting to see. And I was initially going, I was not excited when I first heard this news because what I had read about him and the other people going for it, he seemed like my last choice because of what I'd heard about Chelsea, because he was from private equity.
Yeah.
And some of the things I've heard since then are settling some of my concerns.
That it's the other side that was like causing the issues?
No, just what the issues are, that it was.
Okay.
I've also learned that when they came into Chelsea, that Chelsea was a mess financially. So they've been trying to turn things around, but they're not trying to win. Also, it's just not working out.
Yeah.
And then the big thing.
There's no fire sales going.
There are no fire sales. And then my big concern is, I think my main red flag was, no one wants private equity to buy anything that they care about, right? However, we've been told that the private equity firm Clearwater, or Clear Lake, I think it's called, that he started, is not buying the club. It's not a Clear Lake investment. It's he and his wife.
Personal investment.
Kwanzaa Jones are spending their own money, not the business money, to make this purchase.
Yeah.
And they're worth a lot of money, but obviously they're going to have to bring in partners.
Yeah.
Supposedly, They're buying the team for $3.9 billion, and they're worth $4.1 billion themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, but everyone except for Steve Cohen pretty much brings in partners, or maybe not. Some of these families don't, but nowadays you kind of have to. So,
I mean, yeah, I think we kind of just have to, stay a bit on our toes a little bit until we at least get, obviously the finalization, and then inevitably some sort of press some sort of statement, press release, and then kind of just see how we go from there. I mean, we've talked about it in previous podcasts that it is a very interesting time to buy a team solely based on the uncertainty of next season.
Right.
But I mean, I think the fact that they bought it for so much over market, I think is a positive sign for me, at least, because that shows that they're willing to take the risk to try to earn more later. I don't
well, there's an argument out there saying this is actually the best time, but with the looming work stoppage, it's the chances are good that whatever happens with the next collective bargaining agreement will benefit the teams, the organizations, and then their worth is going to be more.
Yeah.
Like that they will. They were saying if they can get a salary cap, all of the teams will double their worth or double their value. If that doesn't happen,
all of them, even like the Dodgers.
Yeah, because I guess they wouldn't have to. They wouldn't have to pay as much if it was to a point, And then they were saying even if they don't do that, but if they go to some sort of revenue sharing, then most of the teams with the top five will be worth significantly more. Padres put in now. We're not getting any. Yeah. We're putting into the competitive balance tax. We don't have a TV deal. So I think the thought is these things are going to change possibly at the end. And so it was actually kind of a buy low time. Mm-hmm. I mean, that remains to be seen, but that's one of the things that people have been talking about, that the looming uncertainty, this might be a good time to get in right now. So there's still 3 teams supposedly up for sale for the right price, and I want to say the interview I was listening to, try to find this if you can. It was with the guy from the New York Times, and he interviewed both with Woodsy and what's his face on in the morning, and then Ben, thank you, sorry, Ben Higgins. And then there's a Marty Caswell one on her YouTube channel, and he was talking about how does this mean that all these teams now weren't going to sell? They're going, oh, okay, so now it's time to sell again because look at the Padres.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like Peter kind of put us in a bit of an outlier situation, though, too.
That's what this guy said. He goes, these teams are not San Diego, though.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
And that, which is like, yay. But he was saying, like, it's not, the big appeal, a lot of the appeal of making this purchase was the city itself, the constant sellouts, the weather, and this was something I didn't think about. But Anaheim could take advantage of this too. The fact that they can host events at the ballpark all year long.
Oh, for sure.
So anywhere with a good, weather. That's why they said
weather or dome.
They was I think they said that they hosted 150 events outside of baseball. Does that even seem possible?
Yeah, I think
Or maybe it was 120, but it was a lot. And it was made up a significant amount of revenue. Anyway, let's see. I would imagine we're supposed to have some finalization this week. So we're tentatively scheduling our next podcast on the 1st when we go. That's our next home game. Yeah. So we'll probably touch base then. And maybe we'll have some more clarity. But speaking of making money for the team, your thoughts on the City Connects? Last time they had only been leaked.
Well, we were right. The leak was right. I'm so over leaks right now. I know there's more. There's been so many leaks in my life, and with the Avatar.
Oh, the Avatar stuff. I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fine. We kind of did our opinions on them in the last episode. They're safe, I don't think we've seen them in person yet. So
we have not.
It's
I went to the game before.
Once we get to take it all in, I think it'll probably settle in a little bit more. I don't hate them. I don't hate them by any means. They do look a lot like the Giant City Connects.
I don't think they look that much like the Giant.
I mean, very similar color.
Okay, I have 2 complaints. I really like them, but I do have 2 complaints. I have one major complaint that it's a pullover.
Mm-hmm.
Because I won't buy one because I have to have buttons because I like to wear my jerseys like a jacket. I'm also not crazy about the dark blue. Not exactly sure why they went with such a dark blue.
So you don't love them? You have?
No, I do, because those are like minor things. Well,
the color of the jersey's kind of a big one.
Well, the no buttons is a major, but I love all the
symbolism is
totally
amazing. Yes. I love the thought that's put into it.
I love the marigold stuff. I love the Katrina. I love the touches of color.
I like how they look with the pants because I thought they were just going to be white pants.
I agree.
And it's that bone white that they
makes
were saying.
A big difference.
Yeah, I think that looks really good. I think that looks really good.
So my friend Billy put a compilation online, which was great. Thank you, Billy, for listening to this, of all of Mason Miller's strikeouts. It's great if you can find it. It's just the last, strike three. And one thing that struck me was, it's like brown uniform, tan uniform, brown uniform. And how sharp that City Connects look. A lot of it is the tan pants.
Yeah. I think the pants really do pull it together.
And the pants have the stripe of pink, right?
Yeah.
So it's just the little pops of color.
Yeah. I think it really pulls it together. Also, something that probably helps with like the safeness of like the colors and all that is for our old City Connects, as much as I love them, some players looked a lot better in them than others.
Yeah.
I think with these City Connects, they all kind of look good. Yeah. I know. I think the first person I saw wearing was Jackson Murray. I was like, oh.
Our last City Connects, one of my big criticisms was that they were too bright white. I thought they were just too much white on white. I would have gone with the mint colored jersey with the white pants or something. It was just too much white. I do wish they had used a different font. I don't hate the font. I wish they would just used a different one from the other one.
Yeah.
It says Padres on the, I wish they had used that kind of old town, call it old, it reminds me of like Casa de Pico or, what's the, Bazar del Mundo. It's kind of, he's got like a Bazar del Mundo, like feel to it. I wish they'd used that across the chest. But I guess they're trying to play homage to some of our old uniforms too. Obviously, they're.
I think they have a little palette like.
Oh, with all the different. Right, yes, I love that with the flag, the paper flag. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, my Spanish.
No, but I do like them. We went to the game. When was that? Last Wednesday.
We know what I wanted to talk
about. And I looked at the team store, and I will just tell you, none of the merch. I'm sure they were out of a.
They're out of a ton of stuff. Yeah.
None of the things were really screaming to me.
Yeah.
I
know exactly what I want. I want a T-shirt with the Katrina on it. I would like that.
I don't know if they have that.
I have not seen it. Yeah. I know exactly. They have hats.
They'll release more merch,
they have
I'm sure.
But they're out of a lot, and it's super expensive.
Actually, what I almost got where it was the like bone white hat, but then the pink logo. I thought that was really cute. But I have so many freaking Padres hats.
Yeah, no, I don't need another hat. I definitely don't need another hat. But there's that one bone-colored pullover sweatshirt, and it's got all the colors. Padres written in bones. Yeah. That's pretty cool, but I think it's like $180.
Oh, for sure.
Really expensive.
The only thing I think I might get is that pink Letterman's jacket, which is like $200.
It's really cute.
Anything to invest into our team.
Speaking of Wednesday's game,
an investment for me is an investment for them, honestly.
Well, you're just giving back. The more you buy, the more money they'll have.
Exactly.
And hopefully they invest that into player payroll. But anyway, speaking of Wednesday,
we'll get to Wednesday at some point. I think we need to talk about the boys overall, I think.
I was going to talk about what we went through to get the puffer jackets.
Oh, you want to talk about that? I thought you were talking about the game in general.
Oh, no. That's not
you can talk about Puffergate.
Puffergate. So we went to the Puffergate game, and we got there at like 10 to 5.
We got there at correct. I want to say
20 minutes after gates opened. About 25,
4:40-ish, maybe. I think.
Gates opened at 4:30. I think we got there like 4:50, 4:55.
Okay.
It was early, but we got there and it was already a massive line.
Well, we also went in on the gaslamp entrance, which we don't usually do, and we were telling ourselves, this is why we go through the members entrance.
Gone through the members entrance. What were we thinking?
No, turns out we did make the right choice.
That whole side, not just the members entrance. Yeah. We should go in on that side no matter what. Yeah. That whole side was a shit show. Not just the members entrance, but over by Gallagher Square. And it was a mess. We got there and it was still a mess. But everyone was still chill at that point.
Because we got our shirts at around like 5:40, you'd say, right?
Yeah.
We like waited like almost an hour in line.
We were in line for almost an hour, despite getting there right when gates opened, very close when gates opened. And our poor seatmates went in. I feel bad because I told you should go. This is a mess.
Yeah.
Through members entrance, they went through members entrance, and they were part of. You've seen all the melees videos that are posted everywhere. They were all part of that. And they didn't get in until the end at the bottom. They got there at like 5:15, 5:20. Did not get into 5:20. They got there at 5:20. Did not get in the ballpark until the end of the second.
Something like that.
Something like that. And it did take them in an hour and 40 minutes to get in, I think she said. Crazy. They did get the puffer jackets, but they had to really, she said it was kind of scary. It was like people were grabbing, and ultimately to me, like the problem was you did not go to that fan fest that Lily and I went to. That was the fan fest of 2023 was awful to the point where like I really don't even go anymore. I certainly don't try to get autographs anymore. But there was no line control.
It's a staffing issue.
It's a total staffing issue. Yeah. And it was, they had one or two people handing out the vests. That's not enough. But the main problem was there was no one saying, or they could even put up stanchions. There was nothing. So people were just cutting and pushing, and it was awful. So, yeah, we got to work on that.
We'll learn from our mistakes. I've said it before. They did for this giveaway. It was for the jersey. The Tony Gwynn and Trevor Hoffman jersey that they gave away, where they kind of like allocated a bit of like Gallagher Square.
Everyone was saying that worked out much better.
That worked out so much. You had the whole game to like do it.
You got a coupon, right? Or a ticket?
You just showed them your ticket or something. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what you did. I can't remember, but it was like a big section of Gallagher Square. It was open throughout the game, so you didn't need to do that right when you entered in, and there's obviously so much more room to have staff members there, scatter people more. Your extra large, your small, extra large, a whole different line instead of it just being one table.
They could have taken the sizes and split them up, and people are like, well, we'd have to go to one line for your kids and one line for you. Well, yeah, okay, you might. It still might not take as long because not everyone is trying to get a large or whatever. Anyway, my last thought on that was, as we got the jackets, and I'm wearing my jacket, which I do love. I think they're pretty cool. I'm thinking to myself, every time you see someone wearing a puffer jacket, you're going to be like, oh, they had to go through that bullshit to get that. I survived. However, what are you going to think about now with that game? Coming from behind, scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th. What the heck, Padres? And I think that's what we're going to remember. Insanity. So now, instead of looking at people wearing a puffer jacket going, oh, you were like me and had to deal with a bunch of crap, you're going to feel like, oh, you were at that game where we scored 5 in the bottom of the 9th. Who does that?
The Padres.
Wasn't that great? Anyway. So anyway, I'm done with Wednesday. That was all I was going to talk about as far as Wednesday.
Oh, I mean, that's fine. Well, then we can just talk about our boys then, because shoot, I know I'm stepping out of lines by saying this, but what the hell? In the best way possible.
I super overreacted at the beginning of the...
Yeah, you did.
I was like, these guys suck. It's going to be the longest season. We had gone 2-4, and I was already like, this is misery, put me on, no fun. And, obviously I was consoling my fellow... and my favorite Giants fan was feeling the same way about her team, and her team really hasn't turned it around. They've won a few more, but they're still, for whatever reason, it's not clicking for them. So in the same breath, I'm trying not to get too confident. Coming off this Angels series, and I went to the game on Friday. It was terrible. But to be fair, it really felt like they didn't think they were going to win.
And with that pitcher,
amazing pitcher, Solari. Is that his name? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Solis?
Former Padres, I believe.
No, he's not. There's no mention of that. No, I think
he
came up in their system. So anyway, he's fantastic, and it was almost like they knew. And then they knew that Waldron was going. I was hoping Waldron would do better, but he looked terrible. He looked like the Waldron from last year. So obviously they're going to have to do something about starting pitching. And the big fantasy out there is that this new ownership comes in and finds a team, maybe like the Marlins want to get some more money and sell us Sandy Alcantara, or look at a team, I don't know, teams that aren't, or maybe Texas. I don't know how they're doing, but like certain teams that aren't doing well and they're already looking to shed some salary, we could do something like, you know how the Giants just kind of went and bought Devers? Like, we could do that, theoretically speaking, if they want to spend that kind of money. Otherwise, yeah, everyone's like, Lucas Giolito's out there. But to me, there's a reason no one has signed Lucas Giolito. You know what I mean? Like, he's still a free agent this late. There's a reason no one's interested in him.
Yeah.
He's probably too expensive, but that's probably only part of it. So. Anyway.
I absolutely agree with you that the starting pitching is going to be our biggest issue at the end of the year, but also it's been the biggest surprise so far.
They've done better than we thought.
I think astronomically better than we thought they were going to do, especially our Vasquez and our and I always get his name wrong.
King?
No, not King.
Oh, Herman Marquez?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we're all smart enough fans to know that that train isn't going to ride forever.
Correct.
But we could still be grateful by the performances that they've given us thus far.
Walker Buehler's had his few moments.
And Buehler,
He's had a few moments. He has not. Randy Vasquez did not pitch very well when we saw him last. Hopefully that was just an off game because he's been doing fantastic. But Waldron ate it looks like. And now, of course, we lost Pivetta, which, I feel so bad. That guy pitches with so much passion. And you could tell he was just, like, so upset. But everyone says he's a maniac on the mound, but in real life he's a sweet, sweet Canadian man. After he was pulled from this game, they were asking him questions about, what do you think, how long are you looking at? And all he was like, I really don't want to talk about it. Let's just focus that we got the win today.
Yeah.
And what a great job the bullpen did. And how my teammates backed me up. What were you feeling when they came out? He goes, well, like I said, I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to mention that how happy I am that we were able to he was just keeping it together, and you could tell. I mean, I don't know if you saw when they took him off the mound, he looked really upset. He looked like he was biting his glove, but trying to keep it together. But it doesn't sound good.
No.
It's giving me Joe Musgrove vibes.
Absolutely.
The only difference is I think they said Joe Musgrove felt a pop. And from what they're saying, Nick Pivetta did not feel a pop. This has just been similar to what he was feeling. Remember, he only had 1 or 2 starts in spring training because he had arm fatigue, and they're saying.
I mean, we kind of were seeing it. We were going to see it. I felt like we were watching it happen or unfold in real time in spring training. We're like, okay, if homie's having fatigue in March,
this wasn't a massive surprise.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think we thought we kind of talked about that going into the season about, the starting pitching woes. He also was not pitching. When he did pitch in the spring, he did not do well. So I think we were going, okay, we're going to starting pitching with issues. No Joe Musgrove, King coming off an injury. Pavetta's got a weak, tired arm. All these things are things they're not out of the blue.
Yeah.
So.
And sorry, Yu Darvish also.
Well, we knew we were going to
I know, but still.
You's not taking a salary, so I don't even think about my dear sweet Yu Darvish. But he's working with Randy Vasquez. That's how he's helping the team right now. So that's great. They're calling him Randy Darvish.
Stop it.
So anyway.
Well, yeah, that's more. That's our starting pitching at least. Yeah, we're all in agreement. We desperately need some starting pitching. How? I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna have to be. I think it's gonna have to be someone. If it's gonna be a trade, it's gonna have to be someone from the 40 man.
I think so.
Either Sheets or France or Castellanos or.
No one wants. No one wants.
I know. Or Johnson, but he's too valuable now.
Nobody wants. No, Johnson can be replaced with that Jace Barvin guy. Or maybe Jace Barvin could.
I'm sorry, we're 3-0 and Bryce Johnson starts. I don't know if we can afford to not.
I know, right? Yeah, everyone wants to trade Cronenworth, but no one wants Cronenworth either. So this isn't a trade where we're trying to get rid of people. This is a trade we're going to have to give up quality for quality.
I've turned into a Cronenworth apologist. I understand the batting is ass.
He's so good.
But you need it when you have a mid defender at shortstop with Bogarts. No offense.
He's a little better than mid, I think.
I'm calling him mid. He's consistent, sure. He's not making errors, but I'm thinking about his range and his arm. both kind of mid.
Okay.
You need someone on the other side of the middle infield who's going to make up for that. And Jake Cronenworth is
Jake's
an
still
elite.
He's still an elite.
Second baseman.
Still has an elite glove, absolutely. Even if though his can't hit water if he fell out of the boat. So, but you know what I'm enjoying this season so far. Obviously, it's a big contributor to our success. Is how Maddie's not doing much.
Yeah, he'll get there.
Tatis
happens
not
every year.
Tatis not hitting home runs, but he's still hitting pretty well. I think he went 10 for his last 23 or something like that. So he's getting on. He just doesn't have the power. It's everyone around him. It's Laureano.
Yeah.
It's
Merrill.
Andujar.
Yeah.
Merrill not so much.
It's
Merrill not so
Johnson whenever he's on. It's Ty France. It's Gavin Sheets. It's all
Gavin
these
Sheets.
people.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to give him a day off because they all seem to be hitting. And give props to Craig Stammen. He seems to be figuring that out. He's Mr. I'm going to have a different lineup every single day, and I'm going to make sure everybody gets playing time. So he wants he wants the guys to feel rested. He doesn't want them to be exhausted by the end of the season, and he wants to make sure everybody's getting in there and getting reps and feeling part of it. And again, that has to go back to his playing days. That has to go back to things he thought about as a player.
Do you think that you would ever see Fernando at second base?
No. And Craig Stammen's response was, "Yeah, isn't that exciting? Isn't that fun?"
He's a psychopath.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
I think like the shift on my thoughts of Stammen have kind of stayed the same. I started my opinion of he's kind of fucking crazy and a bit of a psychopath in a negative light.
He's a wild card.
And now that we're winning ball games, I'm like, oh no, he is crazy, but this crazy's working out for us right now. Keeping the guys loose, it's keeping them on their toes, but also
mine was more
it's
like
letting them have fun. Like
mine's like
Tatis. Oh my god, Tatis has a smile on his face when he's like playing.
On second base.
Yeah, like wow, didn't think I'd see that anytime soon.
I was like, my thought was like, holy shit, AJ Preller is a genius, you know, because his hiring was so bizarre, and it started off rough, definitely, and he still has things he needs to learn for sure. I'm happy to see he's not keeping pitchers in quite as long as he was. So someone spoke to him about that.
He kept King in pretty long this outing. I think he went over 100 pitches.
I'm more concerned about him. He's leaving in relievers too long. Yeah, like setting him back out there and letting him get runners on, and then trying to get them to finish that second inning.
I mean, that's just so bullpen pitcher.
Yeah, and it's like no, they figured him out. He needs to come out. You know. So.
Another person who's been.
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Campy. I'm so glad. Can you imagine, like, if we get the Campy we thought we were always going to get, and he seems to be going that way. He threw out 2 runners yesterday. Yep. Then we're going to have a great starting catcher who's cheap, who we brought up.
Keep talking.
And what an asset to have on your team. And
yeah, we're so lucky.
And I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him. And hi Jeannie. And like the people were saying, it's so evident that for whatever reason, Schultz did not like him. He just did not like him. Neither did Bomel. Bomel always said though he had nothing against him. Bomel always said he goes, no, I like him. So we thought maybe it was other people, coaches or something that didn't like Campy, but
I mean Stammen has
Well, one of the first things Stammen said supposedly was.
He liked pitching. He liked pitching Campy. Yeah,
he's like Campy's going to be part of this 40-man roster. That was like one of the first things he said when he got here. He likes pitching to Campy. He believes in him. So thankfully, his
so nice
dad
to hear.
So he looks better. He does look better behind the plate. He does. He used to look. He used to make me nervous.
He still makes me a little bit nervous when he catches Miller.
Yeah, and I think that's true for everybody.
But I also think, I think Fermin just handles the ball so well. With Miller, at least, I think he.
Campy's so good at the ABS.
They both are.
So
we're the third highest percentage in ABS. Like
getting them right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're like at 70-something%.
No, we're on 61%.
Really?
The highest
one is 73.
No, the highest is 73.
Oh, okay.
It's like the
61's pretty freaking. 61 makes it worth it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess any of it does, really. Well, no, yeah, because all you're losing is the possibility to have another one. You know what I mean? You're not. So it's kind of like, even if you're only at 40%.
What I would like to see, and maybe the reason why our percentage is so high is because the lack of offensive challenges. But I would like to see a bit more offensive challenges from our boys. I see it hesitation so many, especially with Tatis. Come on, Tatis.
I think that's league wide, because they're far and away it's the catchers that are calling for the.
But I know Tatis wants. I know, and it says to anything like their confidence in the strike zone and their confidence in like what they think a strike is as a batter. You know, because there are balls I remember in the first couple of games that were not even close to being strikes, that were called balls, and Tatis is just kind of and like doesn't do it. I'm like, homie.
It might be a new habit.
Do it and then learn, but like learn from it. Do it in the beginning of the season, you know, instead of in like August or September.
Right.
Get used to it. Get some confidence in that. It's absolutely a confidence thing. With
for sure.
With most
and that's why
batters.
That's why Campusano's so good at it, because he's been in the. They were using it in the minors.
Doesn't give a fuck. Oh.
Yeah, and he doesn't give a fuck. He made that very clear too. So, keep not giving a fuck, because apparently it's working. Anything else, Matt, you could think of? Did we touch base on everything so far?
Half a game back, and never thought I'd hear those words this season.
Right. Like I said, I did go to that Angels game where Waldron pitched. It wasn't good. I didn't think they looked super. I mean, happy we won the series, and despite questions about our pitching, we got the first game awful, 8-0. But I think we won by like. We only gave up one run, I think, between the other two games. But our offense looked a little sleepy, and the Angels had a couple. Their last two starting pitchers were not supposedly good, and we did not take advantage of that. So I'm a little concerned that our bats are starting to cool off a little bit.
Well, we're playing the Rockies in Colorado, so maybe it'll be a time for bats to wake up again.
Oh, the Rockies just took 2 out from the Dodgers, so they're feeling pretty good.
I know, and did you see the catcher's response to
that?
Yeah,
he accused them
so dramatic.
He accused them of cheating.
Bro,
really?
Oh, fishy.
I saw a stupid quote. I think it was on Twitter, but it made its way to everything. It reminded me of that a little bit, where someone said that they thought it couldn't be possible that a team like the Padres are selling for $3.9 billion when half of this. Why would you buy a team when half of the city are in the Navy and getting ready to deploy? And it's like, my quote was, what is this, 1943? I'm like, you obviously
don't make me sympathize with the fucking Navy, okay? Don't make me sympathize with the military by any means.
Well, the thing is, it's not accurate at all. For better or for worse, San Diego's a very wealthy town, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, so of course it makes sense. That's why it sold for so. No, we're half of the people.
Tell me you haven't been to San Diego in 20 years. Yeah.
40 years. Tell me you know nothing about San Diego. I mean, I remember when I was like in elementary school, that was absolutely the vibe. It's a sleepy Navy town, but it's not that anymore.
No.
Like I said, for better or for worse.
I do love, we'll go back to this like ownership for a second, because it's funny. Any chance I can see Spanos hate, I take it, and it's just coming back around with this.
No.
Idiot.
Yeah.
You freaking idiot.
They're lost our game.
And when we were driving by to get dropped off the other day, we're like, that's where the football stadium was going to be. At the MTS, like little drop off area. No, we love our boys. Yeah. I can't wait.
No baseball today.
No baseball today.
They get to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we also do not have baseball on Friday because they're going to Mexico City. So the Mexico City series versus the Diamondbacks.
That'll be exciting.
This weekend.
That will be exciting.
Very exciting.
We are proud to say that we are selling our Dodger tickets again. We have no shame in it.
I listed them for $200 each.
We have no shame in it.
It didn't seem unreasonable.
I will gladly take an LA Natives money.
Yeah.
And put it in my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
It pays for almost half of our season tickets.
Exactly. It pays for a big chunk of our season tickets. Really, I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of crazy, and I think it's pretty obvious, but we are making pretty good money selling our tickets this year, too. Like, we will make at least half.
Trust me, we're going to games. We are going to a lot of
we're
games.
selling ones we can't go to. Other than the Dodgers one.
I've been to all but one.
Well, like, I'm missing the game on the 8th, because I'll be on my cruise, but I'm not even selling that one. I'm going to give that away. Yeah. But, like, I just sold.
Yeah, I have a list of people I'm going to ask.
Our seatmates are on their honeymoon, and I sold their tickets to
the White
Sox. And I think the listed price on these, because, you know, they're tiered, the listed price on them was like $18.75 or something like that. they sold immediately for $40. So if the White Sox can double, you better believe that we're selling our Dodger tickets for $200 a pop. And I looked at what they were going for, and it seemed very reasonable. We were right in the middle there. So, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Oh, don't sell them to Dodger. No. Selling my tickets to Dodger fans helps the big picture.
Yeah.
It enables
you know
us
what?
to buy
Good.
tickets.
I'm so happy Dodger fans get to spend money at Petco Park
Spend
with
my
our
money. Help
concessions.
me pay.
Yeah.
Dodger
Help me
fans.
pay.
Help me pay for my season tickets.
Yeah.
Dodger fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I support my boys. Die hard through and through. Baby, it's rough in these streets. Rent is expensive. Rent is expensive. Yeah, the Dodgers can have that. What else? What else you got for me? Shall I show him the newest Padre fan?
Sure.
She's a little scared.
We have another new Padre fan in our midst. Whether she likes it or not, she will be a Padre fan. This little sweet pea. There's Harold. I saw that there was a request for more Harold. What about you, Finn? There's Finn. You see Finn? You're a handsome guy, Finn. This is Junie. Little Junie. Little Junie. Oh. Little girl and are being babysat right now. Little kind of unofficial fostering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Yeah. But she's a sweet little girl. She's a lot like my Toddy. So.
And the cats like her too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll end it there. We'll end it on some Junie time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay, baby girl? Oh, thank you.
All right, so let's try to shoot. Hopefully, Maddie will post this today before she goes to take a nap.
Oh, look at that.
What's that?
Laptop's on low power mode. That means it's time to wrap things up. All right, guys. That's me. That's my mom. That's Junie.
Where's Junie?
Go Padres.
Go Padres.
Go
Bye.
Padres. Bye.